Do you have a shower rail, but the shower head keeps flopping down no matter how hard you tighten it? Come along with me and I'll show you an alternate product that's easy to install and will put a smile on your face. Let's go. Hey guys, Musa here from Quantum Home Improvements and Solutions. Welcome back to the channel. Today I'm with my friend Craig.
Hello.
And so Craig's asked me if I can give him a hand and change over his shower rail. Now he's had that for around about 10 years. It's been a fairly good product, but in more recent times it's been flopping down and unfortunately something's broken on the back of it and he's been propping it up with a women's razor. So I've had a number of rail showers over the years and I found that the more you tighten it, the worse it got and it became useless. And so the biggest problem when you do have these systems and you want to change over is trying to match it to the holes you've currently got, and it's impossible. So eventually, after looking around everywhere, they found the product that would suit them best, and they found it at Harvey Norman's in Penrith, and Rita helped them through the process, and so we're going to install that today. So the brand he bought was the Phoenix Vivid Slimline Compact Twin Shower Head. And so remember, when you are installing these products, you're going to get your hands a little dirty, so you will need a rag. So now I'm going to put a sock in it and get into it. Okay, so the first thing we need to do is dismantle this rail shower. I'll just remove the little girly razor. So this comes off quite easily. So you just undo this nut here. Just remember, lefty loosey, righty tighty. Okay, so that's off. Okay, now the next thing is to take this section off, and it's just a little cover, and take these screws out. Okay, so then we'll take that rail out, and we'll take this cover off, unscrew those. Okay, so as you can see here, there's cracks coming through just where they drilled before to put the plugs in for the screws. So now, we're not going to be able to fix that, but we can clean that up a little bit. But the biggest problem is actually having screws through the membrane, the waterproofing. So we're going to be very careful to repair that. So when you do replace your tiles in a bathroom, fair trading, through the Australian standards, the Building Codes of Australia, they say that you need to re-waterproof your bathroom. So you're going to be very careful not to damage any of this, because you don't want to do that. So what we're going to do is just take these plugs out, fill this up with a special silicone made by Selleys, and I'll show you that later. So the last thing to take off is this section. So I'm just going to use a Phillips screwdriver here. Just place it in the hole and just turn it. All right, that's off. So as you can see in here, there is no silicone, and you're supposed to have silicone in this area. So I will put some silicone in there as well to make this waterproof. Okay, so now I'm going to try to get these plugs out. And what I'm going to do is just put a screw in just partially and grab my pliers and just see if I can get that out. And there we go. Okay, so I'm on a stool, just get a bit higher. I'll just clean this up. I'll use a cloth here. Okay, that's cleaned up beautifully. So I can feel a bit of a step where the crack is, but that's fine. We'll clean that up. You can see a little bit of bacteria or some kind of growth here, which generally happens in bathrooms. This bathroom's actually kept quite nice and clean. Maria's a very lucky woman to have Craig clean it for her.
Hi, sister.
There was a soap holder just here and it fell off, and the screws are still here, so I may have to grind that off, and I'll just need to clean up around here as well, just to pretty this area up. I'll just wipe up the mess. All right, so I've cleaned that up. It's the best I can get it. There is a bit of rust around there, and there are cracks just like there are here. But we'll put a bit of silicone on that when it dries, and we'll try to disguise that best we can. Okay, so the holes are now dry, and it's time to put a sealant in there. So I will be using Selleys No Mold, and so this is a waterproofing seal that stops mold growth. And you do need to go all the way into the waterproofing, not just the inner part of the tile. And to take the silicone off, I'm going to use Paint Partner. Now this is a really good product. It is a rubber and it helps you to take the silicone off. I'm going to show you how to use it. And you can do all different types of angles and corners with this. Okay, so I've taken the seal off and I've just cut a little bit of the slither off the nozzle. You don't want to cut too much off because you want to get it deep into that hole. But be careful you don't get it on your shirt, on your hands, or on your lips, because it will stick. All right, so I'll place it in the hole and squeeze that all the way in, all the way, and just leave a little bit coming out on the outside, and we'll take that off in a minute. And now here, we'll do the same, all the way inside, past the Villa board, past the waterproofing. So I am actually putting more than I need, and I will take that back off in a minute. Okay, so now just use a spray bottle and just spray around it. And this has just got water in it and soap. And with the 90-degree edge, we just go around this plumbing. Okay, so we spray the water so we don't smudge the silicone everywhere, and it wipes off beautifully. Look at that. Okay, so the holes have been filled up, the excess has been taken off, and they look unobtrusive, and they're just flush with the tile now, and it looks great. You can hardly see it, and it's brilliant. And also the silicone is now all the way to the membrane, and it's now protected. So going by the directions, it says you need to wait 1 hour for it to dry. So we'll do that, and then we'll install the shower head. Okay, it's been an hour, and the silicone's now dry. And so we'll just go through the box and just pull out all the things we need. Okay, so the first thing is the shower head, or the shower rose. So this is a 6 litre per minute shower head, which is really water efficient. And because it's got plenty of outlets, it'll still give you a pretty good cover of water. Also, you get the handset. We'll just undo that. So we have our instructions and warranty. So this is the most important bit, which is the wall adapter. And that's the first thing to go on. So I'll show you that in a minute. And this is the hose. Okay, so this is the shower arm. And it has a diverter on just in front here. So that changes it from the shower rose to the handset. Okay, so now I'll show you how to install it. So putting Teflon on can be a little bit tricky, and you do put the Teflon on clockwise. So I'm gonna hold it with my left finger, and I'm gonna go clockwise. Okay, and I'm actually turning it around with the Teflon coming from the base of the roller here, not from the top, because that way I can put pressure on it. And I will go around 7 times, possibly even 8. So you've got to make sure it covers evenly all the way around. And I also try not to let it come into the opening of the thread. Okay, so the reason we put the Teflon on is to seal it and to stop any water coming through. So now, we'll just thread that on. Just go slowly initially until it starts. Okay, now it is really tight to put on, and purposely so. And now I'll just get a shifter. Okay, so what I've done here is actually brought the adapter right to flush to the silicone, so flush to the wall. Okay, so now we've got the shower arm. We put on the cover plate, just slip that on, push it all the way in, just so we can get into the back of this. Now we put the screws in, there's little grommet screws, and Craig looked at me a little funny then, because I think people used to call him a grommet, so I'm not sure about that. Okay, so don't put them all the way in, because you won't be able to push it on to the adapter. Okay, so now that's assembled, so the cover plate is on, and I'll push that back after I've tightened these 2 grommets. Okay, so now using the Allen key, I'll just close that off. It's a little bit tight, it's always tight. Okay, don't let go of the assembly arm for too long, because it will flop down and hit you. So be really careful with that. I want that fairly straight, so this is the time to do it before you tighten everything off. And now I'll just tighten up the top screw. So that's locked off, and now I'll just lock the bottom off. That's it. And so now I'm gonna push the cover plate back. So just wiggle that back into place like that, and that's done. Okay, so the shower rose has the washer inside, a little black washer. It does indicate on the instructions to put the washer in, but it's already in. So all we do now is just roll that on, and you just tighten it a little bit. Don't over tighten it. Okay, and so that's it there. Maybe just a little bit more, and that's it. Just leave it like that. Okay, so now we'll install the hose, and we take off these little rubber screw protectors off both sides. And so the instructions say to check that it's got the valve inserted, and it does, which is this little blue thing in here, and there's one in here. Okay, so first I'll just screw the handset on, and again, just do it tight, but not too tight. Okay, so that's on, and now we'll just screw this onto the arm. Okay, so the handset's now in. I'll just put it into the holder and we're done. You will notice that the hose doesn't sit properly, so it does take a while for that to settle down and just sit right. Okay, so now I'll just get out of the way and I'll just test it. And that works beautifully. Okay, so now we'll use the diverter. And there we go, that's working beautifully as well. So it has 3 settings on this. So you can do it concentrated in the middle, you can get concentrated on the outside, or you can have both. One thing I forgot to mention, the hose is a directional hose. So the longer section fits on the handset and the shorter one fits on the shower arm. So that's complete. Now all we've got to do is put the shelving back and Bob's your uncle, as Joseph Suka says. Okay, it's all done. Craig, what do you think?
Fantastic, wonderful.
Mate, that was easy, eh? Seriously easy.
You made it look easy, wasn't it?
Okay, so now Craig, you can get back to having a shower.
A lot of people will be thankful for that.
Okay, so that's the end of this video. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you get something out of it. And if you have any comments at all, please leave them below and I will get back to you. And I'd ask you, please consider to subscribe, hit the like button and share this video. And there's many more to come. Thanks, guys.
Thanks, Musa.
Do a test here. Yeah, we're not COVID safe.
COVID's finished.
No. What do you mean it's finished?
It's over.
Over
It
what?
finished like 5 years ago.
Really?
Yeah.
So I can get rid of my mask?
Well, keep the mask on. Oh no, it really. Oh, it's got the grommets in here.
Oh, grommets.
Grommets, yes.
Yes, yes.
So you come out, I'm just saying you came up with that very quick.
Yes, yes, yes. That's only because you got the shape of a grommet.
Is that right?
It's no other reason. You're not really a grommet. No.
Okay.
But in more recent times, it's been flopping down and unfortunately something's broken on the back of it and he's been propping it up with a women's razor.
It's the handle. I did say it was a handle.